There are things humans have discovered that are thousands, sometimes millions of years old, and we can tell you what they are made of, where they were found, and sometimes even when they were created. But there's one question that keeps coming back. Why does this exist? Because sometimes we find something so strange that even after years of research, you still can't confidently explain what it was actually for. And that's what makes these things so fascinating. Because imagine finding an object from 2000 years ago and realizing that the people who made it probably knew what it was for, but somehow we lost the answer. Today, we're looking at 5 strange discoveries where the mystery isn't necessarily what we're looking at. It's why it exists in the first place. Number 1, the Roman Dodecahedron. Let's start with something that looks like it came from a science fiction movie. It's called the Roman Dodecahedron. It's a small hollow object with 12 pentagonal sides, holes of different sizes, and little knobs sticking out from its corners. And here's the strange part. We found more than 100 of them, so this isn't just one weird object someone made in their backyard. These things were real. They were produced during the Roman period, mostly from bronze or copper alloys, and they've been discovered across parts of the former Roman Empire. But despite finding so many of them, we still don't know what they were used for. And that's where the rabbit hole begins. People have proposed all kinds of explanations. Maybe they were measuring instruments. Maybe they were used for crafts. Maybe they had some religious purpose. Maybe they were connected to astronomy. The problem: there isn't a surviving Roman instruction manual saying, here's what you do with this weird 12-sided thing. And researchers haven't found a single explanation that everyone agrees on, which creates a strange possibility. Maybe the object wasn't mysterious to the Romans at all. Maybe its purpose was so ordinary that nobody bothered to write it down. And that's actually terrifying when you think about it, because it means there could be thousands of ordinary things from our own time that future civilization will find and have absolutely no idea what they were used for. Number 2, the Voynich Manuscript. Now, imagine finding a book with hundreds of pages, beautiful illustrations, strange diagrams, and writing that nobody can confidently read. That's the Voynich Manuscript. The manuscript has become one of the world's most famous unsolved texts. And what's fascinating isn't simply that we can't read it, it's that the manuscript appears to contain a consistent writing system, along with illustration of plants, astronomical looking diagrams, and other strange imagery. So what exactly are we looking at? A lost language, a coded message, a medical or scientific text, or something completely different? People have spent enormous amounts of time trying to understand it, and because the text remains unsolved, theories keep multiplying. But here's where you need to be careful. The fact that we don't understand something doesn't automatically mean it's supernatural or impossible to decode. It could be a real language we've lost. It could be a constructed writing system. It could even be an elaborate deception. The uncomfortable part is, we still don't have a definitive answer. And somewhere inside those pages is a message that may have made perfect sense to someone hundreds of years ago. Today, we're staring at it like a locked door. Number 3, Hoag's objects. Now, let's leave Earth completely, because sometimes the strangest mysteries aren't buried underground. They are hundreds of millions of light years away. In 1950, astronomer Hoag discovered something incredibly unusual, a galaxy that looks almost like a perfect cosmic ring. At the center is a dense region of older stars. Surrounding it is an enormous ring containing billions of younger blue stars, and between them there is a huge gap. It's called Hoag's object. The galaxy is roughly 100,000 light years across and around 600 million light years away. Ring galaxies themselves are extremely rare, and the obvious question is, how did it get like that? One possibility is that some enormous gigantic collision created the ring. That sounds like a good explanation until you run into the problem. Astronomers haven't found the expected evidence that would clearly confirm such a collision. There have been other ideas too, but no single explanation has completely solved the mystery. So we're left with something almost absurd. We can observe this enormous structure from Earth. We can measure it. We can photograph it. We can study its stars. But we still don't completely understand how such a strangely perfect structure came to exist. And that makes it one of the most beautiful mysteries in the universe. Number 4, the Antikythera Mechanism missing storage. This next one is different, because we actually know what the device did, But there's still a mystery surrounding why something this sophisticated existed when it did. The Antikythera Mechanism is an ancient Greek device containing an intricate system of gears. It could model astronomical cycles and track phenomena such as the position of the celestial bodies and eclipses. And here's what makes it incredible. It was built more than 2,000 years ago. The mechanism is so sophisticated that when it was first studied, researchers realized that they weren't looking at an ordinary ancient object. But there's a massive gap in the story. Why was something this complicated created? Who designed it? How widespread was the technology? And what happened to this tradition of making machines like it? Because we don't have a huge collection of surviving devices showing a continuous development from simple gears into a mechanism of this complexity. Instead, we have this extraordinary survival, almost like finding a modern computer buried in an ancient civilization, and then discovering that almost everything else explaining how that technology developed is gone. The mystery isn't simply the machine, it's a missing story around the machine. Number 5. The rare thing that might not even be a thing. And now for something completely different. Astronomers have discovered strange radio structures in space known as odd radio circles or ORCs. When scientists first started seeing these enormous circular structures in radio observations, they didn't immediately know what they were looking at. They appeared as giant faint rings of radio emissions that didn't neatly fit into familiar categories. One of the early examples was even informally labeled WTF by the researcher who noticed it because it was so unusual. And this is where science gets really interesting. The mystery isn't necessarily alien built this. That's the speculation. The real mystery is, what physical process created these enormous structures? Scientists have proposed explanations involving energetic events and galactic environments, and research continues. But when something doesn't fit comfortably into something we already know, that's when scientists pay attention, because sometimes a strange object isn't an answer, it's a question. And that's what makes discovery like this so exciting. But here's the strangest part about all 5 of these discoveries. The mystery isn't necessarily that they were impossible, it's that we've lost the context. Someone made the Roman Dodecahedron, someone wrote the Voynich Manuscript, something created Hoag's objects, someone built the Antikythera Mechanism, and something produced those strange structures in space. At some point, someone knew the answer, and now we don't. Which makes me wonder, what things are we creating today that future humans will discover and completely misunderstand? Imagine someone thousands of years from now finding a smartphone and deciding it was a ceremonial mirror. So the next time you see something completely ordinary, ask yourself one question. If everyone who understood this disappeared tomorrow, would anyone in the future know what it was actually for? Because sometimes, the strangest mystery isn't something you haven't discovered yet. It's something we've already discovered and simply forgotten how to understand.